Hello and welcome to the Streamline and Shine podcast. My name is Steff Bolton and I am 1/3 of Bolton Virtual Solutions, a team made up of me, Mum, and my two daughters, Sam and Amy. Our family virtual assistant agency's absolute passion is helping time-poor female entrepreneurs with those ridiculously long to-do lists, because we all know how they get longer instead of shorter, so that they're able to focus on doing what they love. You're going to want to stick around if you find yourself constantly just doing this thing quickly instead of spending time with your family, or if you look at your list of tasks and feel like crying, or even if you're just simply wondering how to manage your time better and delegate to your team. We're going to be covering topics from social media to marketing, systems and processes to outsourcing, and so much more, so that you can see what's possible for you and your business. So let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome back to the Streamline and Shine podcast. So I've got a question for you. If you've ever thought to yourself, if I just find the right tool, everything in my business will finally run smoothly. Put your hand up. I think we've all been there, haven't we? But as business owners, we love the idea of the perfect system, the magic software, the shiny new platform that's going to solve all of our problems. But I'm here to burst your bubble. The perfect system doesn't exist, and it's not likely to either. Chasing it is one of the biggest ways that CEOs waste time, money, and energy. So in today's episode, I am going to bust that myth wide open and tell you what actually works instead. Okay, so every business owner I meet has been down this rabbit hole, hopping from Asana to Trello to ClickUp to Notion, convinced that the next one will be the one. And that is shiny object syndrome in disguise, because it stops you from fixing the real problem, which is usually how you and your team actually work together. So no tool is going to fix bad habits, communication that isn't clear, or delegation that's messy. So it's not the software, it's the setup, because a system fails when maybe nobody knows how to use it properly. There are no rules for consistency, or it's too complicated for what you, your team and your business need, or even worse, it's not fully implemented. So you've just got a half-empty tool full of half-finished projects, and that just causes more confusion. You've wasted time setting it up, and then it just gets left gathering dust in the corner of your desktop, basically. So that is why so many entrepreneurs feel like systems don't work. They've been given a tool, but not a framework. So let's just have a think about how many systems we've tried between ourselves. I've tried all of those 4 that I've mentioned, and I now stick with Basecamp as our project management communication software between the team and the clients. And for me, it's perfect, but you need to find the right one that works for you. But the thing is if you don't put it into its full use, then it's not going to do what you need it to. So you need to have a really good think in aeroplanes. So while you're trying out these softwares or you're researching them, just have a think about what your needs actually are. Will you be able to show your team how to use it? And can you put it to its full use? So quick pause before we get into what does work. If you're realising your systems are a hot mess and you're stuck on that hamster wheel of trying every tool under the sun, then our Back to Business Boost package is designed for you. We come into your business, we look at how things are actually running, we build you a system or rework a system that you've already got that's simple, clear and fit for the way that you and your team work. There's no cookie cutter bullshit around here, no forcing you onto a tool that you hate, just streamlined processes that actually stick. So if you want to stop wasting hours trying to stick your back end together and finally feeling in control again, check out a link in the show notes. So quick pause before we get into what does work. If you're realising your systems are a hot mess and you're stuck on that hamster wheel of trying every tool under the sun, then our Back to Business Boost package is designed for you. We come into your business, we look at how things are actually running, We build you a system or rework a system that you've already got that's simple, clear, and fit for the way that you and your team work. There's no cookie cutter bullshit around here, no forcing you onto a tool that you hate, just streamlined processes that actually stick. So if you want to stop wasting hours trying to stick your back end together and finally feeling in control again, check out a link in the show notes. So the best system is the one that your team actually uses, full stop. Like I was saying, you've got to find the one that's right for you, what your business needs are, what your goals are, they're important too, what your team capabilities are and how you work. So there's no point getting this all singing, all dancing if it's just you and a VA that works for you 5 hours a month and buying the option that's got 30 seats on it. That is just not the right decision, obviously. It's quite an extreme example, but you know. But what matters most isn't the tool, it's the following. So you need to have clear SOPs, which are standard operating procedures for how tasks are done. You need to have consistent routines, so that's daily, weekly, monthly check-ins. You need to have a simple communication path so that things don't get lost. And you need to have accountability because everyone knows then who owns what and who the buck stops with for each task. So even the most basic setup like a Google Doc and a simple project board can work beautifully if those fundamentals are in place. So this is how to choose a tool that sticks. And I've quickly covered this, but we're going to go into a little bit more detail now. So when you do pick a platform, here's what you need to look for. Ease of use. Your team won't touch it if it's clunky. I wouldn't touch it if it was clunky. 100% no. Hard no from me. Scalability. Will it grow with you for the next 12 to 24 months? You need to be looking ahead at all times. Integration. Does it talk to the other tools that you already use? So, for example, will you be able to link your Google Drive to it? Would you be able to link your invoicing software to it? Like, depending on what you're looking for. Cost. Don't pay for all the bells and whistles that cover things that you're not going to touch or not going to need. Absolutely pointless, waste of money. Then you need to commit. So you need to give it 3 to 6 months so you can say that you've actually tried it. You need to set clear rules. You need to set clear expectations with your team and actually use it. That is when a system starts to feel like freedom instead of another headache. So if you've been chasing the perfect system that doesn't exist, what works is clarity, consistency and simplicity, not more tools. You don't need 10 different tools to do one task. That's just a no. So start with the basics, make sure your team actually knows how to use them, and you'll find yourself running a smoother, calmer, more scalable business without the shiny object chaos. So that is it from me today. I will see you next week, and until then, keep streamlining and shining. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Streamline and Shine. If you have questions on what we covered inside, please feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at Bolton_virtual_solutions, or you can email us at teambolton@boltonvirtualsolutions.co.uk. We absolutely love hearing from our amazing community and are always here to support you. If you'd like to be interviewed on a future episode, please drop us an email letting us know which topic you'd like to speak about and we'll get back to you. See you on the next episode, lovelies.